you got to look at the primary interest group that has the ear respectively, that had the ear respectively of the Biden administration, the Trump administration. Democrats traditionally have kind of been beholden to government employees, labor unions, those kind of special interests. The Republican special interests are businesses primarily. So I am not intimately familiar with the old NEVI guidelines, but I'm wondering if it basically effectively kind of cut out businesses like gas stations, like commercial developers, and it prioritized national parks, municipal installations, disadvantaged neighborhoods, so forth. So from a feel good perspective, you're like, oh, we'll put them in here and here and we'll make it equitable and available to all. I think probably under Trump, they're taking much kind of colder calculus about it. Like, how can we make money off this? And from a business standpoint, they're like, where are we going to get the most utilization? And that's where we need to prioritize because we'll get our ROI. We'll have a quicker ROI.
As long as they keep in mind the idea, because I think the original one, didn't you say it was like X in a certain distance, you had to have chargers in every X miles or whatever it was? That was
I think every 50 miles or something. Yeah.
So as long as they keep something like that in there, then that's fine. There's nothing worse than going on a trip and there's like no ability to fill up later on. Like having a ton of stations in like Phoenix, but then there's nothing until you get to LA does not work for your trip between Phoenix
well,
and
I mean,
LA.
that is a concern. And I think you will see under these new guidelines more concentration in around urban areas and maybe less on the freeway. But I mean, case in point, a few months ago, I went on a trip to Texas and to Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's has like 60 superchargers around it, in addition to, the gas station. You might see some build out on like heavily traveled, interstate and highway, thoroughfares. But to your point, whereas under the Biden guidelines, you might have one in Podunk, New Mexico. Under this, there might not be quite as much incentive because they're like, well, we're going to get like, three users a month.
Yeah.
So,
and that's the problem with them is that, okay, so you have them every 50 miles, but if they're only, if only 20% of them are being used, then the others are just going to go into a state of disarray and not get the maintenance.
And ultimately pulled out and, who knows?
So time will probably end up with
I'm
roughly the same answer.
Yeah, I'm not really mad. I mean, it's kind of a catch-22. On the one hand, you want them kind of in remote, maybe not highly traveled places in kind of a just-in-case scenario. But from a business and side owner perspective, you want maximum utilization. And that will be concentrated around urban areas, interstates, tourist attractions, so forth. I don't know. We'll see how this plays out, but net, I think it's a good thing they finally kind of release the funds and they're gonna get out there somehow.
Yeah, better than no funds.
Yeah.